Welcome back, everybody, to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Kathy and I are back to join you. We're so excited, aren't we, Kath?
We are always so excited to get back together. Be sure to check out our latest episode. We've been having so much fun answering all your questions and chatting with all of your Bachelor Nation faves.
Every single one of you. But today we have one hell of a guest. Baby. He is very special to us. And he was the first ever Golden Bachelor. Gerry Turner. Hey, Gerry, welcome.
Hi, you guys. It's so good to see you and hear your voices again. Love you guys to pieces.
Welcome.
It's been a minute, Gerry. So before we even get started, I have a bone to pick with you, if you don't mind. Can I do that?
Right off the bat?
Right off the bat. I was so excited that it was you coming because, let me start with this. Can you define friendship?
Oh, boy.
The definition of friendship would be forgiving of someone who's close to you, being tolerant of them, understanding them, staying.
Oh, man.
I'm digging a hole for myself, aren't I?
No. So when you were on TV the other day, I was watching and I sent you a text, well-spoken, Gerry. You didn't send a response. Joan was there. She sent a response. Anybody else? But my friend Gerry.
Susan, don't feel badly. He doesn't answer me either. It's okay. He's very big now. He's very popular. He must have a lot of dates. We're gonna figure out why, Gerry.
Do you not read your text? Look at him. He's looking at his phone. Did I get a text?
I'm looking and I missed it. It's not that I saw it and ignored it.
All right, we're gonna grill you. We're gonna grill you later, Gerry. But right now we have so much stuff we want to dive into. So we're gonna get things started, and we want to know what you've been up to. Just give us the day in the life of Gerry Turner. What's going on with you?
Well, so it was a nice winter. It was the first time that I'd been able to get away from the Midwest winters, and I went to Mexico for a couple of months.
Yeah,
so that
nice.
took up an awful lot of time. And then, of course, when I'm down there, my dad passed away, so I had to rush back and, take care of a bunch of estate things for him. And I've been dealing with my siblings and the things that come along with dealing with the estate.
I'm doing the same thing.
Just so sorry, Gerry. My head above water now on those things, and I'm back to playing pickleball 3 or 4 times a week, and pretty much I'm really having a good time. I'm enjoying myself.
So wait, how was Mexico? Where were you? Do you speak Spanish? Tell me about Mexico.
So I don't speak much Spanish, but the place I was at was San Carlos, which is about halfway down the Baja. It's on the west coast of the mainland.
Okay.
And the nearest big city is Hermosillo. There's an airport there. And the people there are so genuine and so kind that if you try to communicate with them and use a few Spanish words, they help you so much. Mm-hmm. There was a little grocery store I went to all the time, and there was a guy in the butcher shop. He always wanted to practice his English with me, and I always wanted to practice my Spanish with him. Oh, God, it was nice. It was
Listen,
nice. Really
Gerry, all you need to know is, ¿Dónde está el baño? El baño. Then you just need to say más cerveza, por favor, more beer, or
or
me
mucho
gusta
dinero.
Me gusta mucho vino tinto. I love red wine. I mean, any of those things will get you where you want to go.
Or something's too much.
Tequila.
There you go.
Just
no más
tequila. What made you go to Mexico, Gerry?
Well, so I have a cousin who has a sailboat there. And so she had the boat. I rented a condo. We shared quite a bit of time. We'd go to meals together. She was a fairly accomplished mountain climber. And so I had a climbing partner. I had I know.
We'll get to that.
So it turned out to be a pretty good combination for the two of us. So it was.
And
really
I heard
nice.
your daughters came down for a short time. Angie and Jenny came down for a bit.
They did for the last 5 days.
Nice.
They came
That's
down
all they got from the whole winter. You only had the girls for 5 days.
Hey, they have jobs. I do not have a job. I have no place I got to be.
All right. So you're back. You had a good time in Mexico. We saw you at AFR. How was that getting back and seeing Joan and Chuck and everybody? How did that feel? Must have been a little surreal.
Well, I tell you what, I really liked it because the Friday morning breakfast, I got to sit with Joan for quite a while and we compared notes. Then Chuck shows up, Clayton shows up. So we're all chitty-chatting. And then that night, the same group plus Leslie sat down for, a couple of drinks. And that was a ball, man. You just hearing everyone's different perspective on what has happened and what's good, what's not working out right, and so forth. I loved it.
Yeah. And there's no hard feelings. I mean,
no.
Leslie looked great, didn't she?
She did. She did.
I swear that girl gets younger. Every time I see her, it's like she looks younger. She's living the good life. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Was it weird though to be back there and because you were the lead? Was it weird or not?
Well, I wouldn't say weird. I was thankful to be there. After a long hiatus, to get the invitation back and get to see so many of the people, I was really thrilled with it.
Yeah.
Genuinely from my heart, I loved it.
All right. So, are you dating anyone now, Gerry? What's going on? Anyone new in your life?
There is something going on. It's a little early to talk about, I think. So
that's exciting.
Maybe
that is exciting. Yeah,
and you can maybe get back to me in a month or so, and we'll talk about it.
I'm calling your ass, Gerry. I'm calling.
Okay.
Susan, you can call him, but he doesn't answer or return calls, so you're screwed.
It's true. He don't respond to messages. So. We're gonna talk about this further. Just so you know.
Gerry, is she local? I mean, is she local?
Yes.
And I have a question. Well, how did you meet?
I don't want to tell you that yet.
Was it Tinder?
No. I don't even know what that is.
I bet it was on a pickleball court.
No.
All right. His lips.
I think it's a nice story, but it goes along with the story of, how it's happened, how I feel about it. But mostly I want to make sure that it's as solid as it feels and giving it a little more time.
Yeah, before you talk about it.
And then I will give you a really nice story.
Okay.
So Kathy, if it's not how he thinks it's going, then he'll be on Paradise, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Susan, what, you have a PhD in logic here?
I'm just paying attention. I do that sometimes.
So well, certainly, Gerry, we're happy for you. Of course, and seriously, we hope that whoever she is, that you are happy, that you found love. Susan and Kat, well, strike one.
There's still
strike
persons
two.
out there for us, Kat.
She won't let it go, Susan. She won't let it go.
Dog with a bone, Gerry. Dead horse. Dog with a bone. All right. So, Gerry, but you are still in Indiana, right? That's where you are now? Yeah. Still same house, same, everything's good?
Yep. And you look good.
And your health is good. We have to, your health is good?
It is. The whole point is, as long as I don't have symptoms, I don't have to talk about treatments yet. Yeah. And every 6 months, I go for blood tests. That one test is going to be way out of whack and get more out of whack as time goes by.
Yeah.
But I quite honestly, I feel great. I am enjoying life right now tremendously.
And I told you, Gerry, but Bachelor Nation, I have the kind of cancer you have is very rare. It strikes 1 in a million men. And believe it or not, I dated a guy who got your same diagnosis about 6 months before you got it. And I know, right? I know two guys and whatever, but he is fine. Just to let you know, he went through the treatment. He waited like a year and a half, and then he had the treatment, and he's fine. And the doctors have said something else is, you're going to get hit by a bus and die before this cancer gets you. So, Bachelor Nation, Gerry Turner is around for the long haul.
Yes, and I get to torture him for the next 10 years.
Susan, he's going to return your message. Leave him alone. The poor guy.
No.
Finding the right mental health care should be simple and affordable, but for many, it's not. Long wait times, more than making therapy accessible and affordable for you, preferences and state. When you sign up, they'll ask
bras and more that are all about food.
They even found a way to make lingerie set starting at
Whether you're a casual texter or a data-hungry...
The podcast that takes you straight. Fans get to call.
Accredited Bachelor of Science.
You to weigh in on it, okay?
Okay.
/BSN.
All right, we got to get into our question of the day.
We're going to play with.
We're going to play
today. Okay?
So we have a question of the day, Gerry, and we want you to weigh in on it. Okay.
Okay.
So, to the young listeners out there, of which there are many, what advice would you give them when it comes to facing big disappointments in life? Like, for example, not getting their dream job or a relationship not working out, those kinds of big things. What would your advice be?
That's a really good question. I think my first reaction is to tell them that part of the learning process in life is dealing with disappointment. And it's why I wanted to be in a team sport. My daughters, I wanted them to be in team sport, because when you're defeated, when you lose, you learn so much more, I think, than when you win. So look at those things as an opportunity to improve yourself, or find new additional things to add to your resume, or whatever the case may be. But look at failure as a positive building block for what you do next.
Gerry, when if your daughters had their first relationship not work out and they had broken hearts, how did you? Because you don't want to hear that, Time heals, life goes on. You'll remember this later. It'll help you grow. At that point, you want to cry. Like, no, you don't tell me that.
But the thing is, Susan, Jenny, my oldest daughter. You both know her pretty well. And the first time
she is you, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Jenny is his carbon copy.
Yeah. The first time she broke up with a serious boyfriend, my wife and I were relieved. We didn't like the guy. So it's like, good riddance.
Good riddance.
Yeah. I do like your advice, though, Gerry, because I do think that, it's not what we win, what we lose. It's not the things we get right in life. It's the things we get wrong that teach us the biggest lessons. So I think that's really good advice.
Yeah. I think that hits close to home for me as well, that the things that in the recent past, the last 2 years that I've done wrong have been tremendous lessons for me on how to do better going forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I repeat mistakes sometimes. Now that this age, I'm finally getting it, Gerry, and I know what
Just don't break your other hand.
Oh, God.
Gerry, did you know that you can't, people, how close Susan and I are. I don't know if you know this. 2 years ago, not quite 2 years ago, I broke my wrist exactly the same way, fell backward on it, had the same surgery, same hand. And the funny thing was, Susan has 4 pins and a really large plate in her wrist. And I said, of course you had to outdo me, Susan, because I had 2 pins and a small plate.
Screws. Got screws.
Sorry, 2 screws. Yeah. Pins and plates is what they call it.
Again,
I got pins, Susan gets screws. Again,
I
was going to say, the two of you are not competitive on who gets screwed the most.
Gerry, this is a family show.
I win.
Susan, you always win. No
I
one's
got 4. I'm just saying. Okay, now. All right, guys.
We're moving on. Moving on.
All right. So we have a collection of our most asked questions by our listeners. And Gerry, we're going to give these listeners some advice. You're going to go first after Kathy and I read them, and then we'll put our 2 cents in.
All right.
Sometimes Kathy and I, like earlier when we did a podcast the other day, we agreed on almost everything, which is unusual. Okay. So if we agree with you, great. If we don't, that's great too.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
So what advice do you have for single parents introducing their children to a new partner?
Ooh, wow.
I know.
That's a good one. I think the setting and the planning and the preparation are critical. You pick a happy place. You make sure that
like Disney World?
In case they freak out, you want to be in a public place.
We don't care. But I think the important thing is being don't over talk, but be honest. If you start over explaining and saying too much, then it looks suspicious. Kids are really intuitive. So 100% honest, but just don't overdo it.
And don't you feel time? Like, how long have you been seeing someone before you do the introduction matters? Or
I think it depends.
Not necessarily.
Well, I think that depends. We're talking about a younger single parent then, with smaller children, right?
I guess, yeah.
And then I think, yes, you have to be protective of the kids. You have to make sure that the partner that you're about to introduce has a very high level of success in your relationship. You don't want to be, a revolving door.
Right. I think you're right with young children, but with older children, Gerry, you're a widower. I'm a widow. I think that has a different set of rules for us.
For like your adult children, right?
Adult children, because with me, I have not introduced my kids to one guy that I was dating, and then if a guy's a friend. And the reason is I feel really, I want my kids to know that I'm never going to replace, that I'm not even attempting to replace their dad. And you, I'm sure, replace your wife. So I try to have those conversations with my kids before, before I even think about having them meet a potential partner. Are you that way?
Well, I would push back on that a little bit. My recent experience, the person that I've just started dating, got to meet Angie and Jenny early on. We all went to dinner. There was an event in
Susan,
Annapolis.
I'm going to let you finish this conversation with Gerry. I've got Jenny on speed dial and Angie, so I'm going to find out. I'll get back before the end of this podcast with all the scoop for you.
Hell no.
But with adult children, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, as long as you feel a certain way about this person.
Right.
But wait a minute. Do your kids, Gerry? Wait. Do Angie and Jenny, who Susan and I do know well, and we love them.
Yes,
they're lovely ladies. But when they meet someone, because, you've had a few girlfriends since the show, how do you say to them, or don't you? Do you just want you to meet?
Don't. I do everything I can to not bias them, because after the fact, I don't even ask for opinions, but it's important and significant to me how quickly they get back to me and what they have to say. So I'm not inviting anything, but when I get it, I know I'm getting the straight scoop.
So what if your daughter
they had
said
to meet all of us?
Yeah, really. What if your daughter said to you, yeah, really, they're like, God, Dad, please.
We were instant friends though, Jenny and Angie.
That's true. We were. But my question is, Gerry, what if Jenny and Angie called you and said, I'm just going to use the names Kathy Sue. That's who you're dating. Kathy Sue. And Jenny and Angie call you and say, Dad, what the hell are you thinking? Are you going to still go out with Kathy Sue?
They would never say that.
Well,
what they would say that would send me the same message is, Dad, do you know this person well enough? Dad, have you asked all the right questions? That's all they need to do to be gracious, but send me the same message. And because they'd never say those negative things.
Can I ask you, Gerry, what those questions would be? Like that they were referring to?
Oh, yeah. The things that I've learned to be a better communicator about is talking about long-term plans, where someone would want to live, financial security.
You learned,
yeah.
I'm slow, but I get there.
Me too, baby. That's why we get along.
I'm a guy. So some of those questions that are important, and the answers are significant. So. Yeah.
I don't know. When do you know when to have those questions, though?
I have, anecdotally, I think there's a certain rhythm that you fall into with someone that you feel like you click with. And when you feel that rhythm, bringing hard topics up is very easy.
Oh, interesting.
Amazingly easy. I had a really nice experience this weekend. She and I spent some time together, and we started talking on the sofa, and an hour and a half later, we're at my island, both of us eating ice cream out of the same container.
I love this.
The same and we didn't even realize.
Wait a minute, Gerry, what is it with you? What is it with you? You share a milkshake with Teresa? You have a cup of ice cream? You share with this guy?
He got me cotton candy.
I mean, there is such a thing as let me buy you an ice cream cone.
Okay.
The point is they were
Gerry, I'm just pulling your chain. You know this.
Communicating. I think you're right. I think if it were me with my mom introducing me with somebody or something and I didn't care for them, I would probably say nothing at all until I was asked, and then say, it's about you. And
but Susan, you're an adult. Matter. Think about your daughter. Yes. Who they're adults too, but like my kids, and Gerry, when I say these things like, what the hell are you thinking, Dad? I don't really think your daughters would ever say that. I'm just, the gist is what I was after. Your really daughters are polite. I'm polite. I would never say that either. It's just.
You don't even need to say those things. He knows that.
Right. So, but I will say my children would say to me, Mom, my kids would be polite but direct and say, Mom, I don't know what you're thinking. I know you're lonely, or I know you'd like to find someone, or whatever they would say. But I think you need to get to know this guy better before we spend any more time with him. And that would tell me.
Have you met my sons?
Why? Why? What would your kids say?
I've introduced the guy. They go, really, Mom? Really? What are you thinking? Thanks, son. What were you thinking, Mom? Okay, next question.
All right. The question I have is, how do you go, because I deal with this again, like you do, Gerry. How do you go about supporting yourself while also supporting your children after the loss of their parent, your spouse?
Oh, Kathy,
I would struggle.
That's a tough,
we just metaphorically joined hands and wouldn't allow the others to sink too far. And in that circle, it wasn't just my daughters, but also my granddaughters. They played such a big role. My oldest granddaughter, Peyton, was only 15 at the time. And when the family got together at the house and everyone was ready to leave, Peyton looked at me and she goes, Pa, I'm not leaving. You can't be in this house by yourself this week. And she was
it's going to be
years old. And it's like, oh my God, it was like, that's the kind of support, that quiet, happy, supportive thing that people do when they're a close family.
Yeah.
And so that's the best thing I got.
For me, I mean, my grandchildren, one wasn't even born and the other one was not even 3. They were babies. But I just, it's still, my kids have gotten, how long has it been for you, Gerry, since your wife died?
This coming July, it will be 8 years.
Okay. So I just had my 6th anniversary. Yeah. It feels, I think my kids still, your kids were older. We have your kids were older. My kids were in their early 30s. So it's still hard, though. I mean, I have to be honest. It's still hard.
You support each other, children, parents. Everybody has their own way of mourning and for loss, but you're there together and you touch base all the time. That you have
even now, there's unspoken communication at times, at certain times of the year, certain little events where we just look at each other and we go, "Oh, we know she's looking down."
Mm-hmm.
And because we all think the same thing at those moments.
Yeah. Well, we do too.
Sometimes I'm sure you say, Mom will be cracking up right now.
Oh yeah.
Or she'd be squashing that one.
Oh, I have to tell you, I don't know what I think about reincarnation, but another topic. But my newest granddaughter, who will be 2 in April, of course, so she was not alive, but she literally has my husband. Her middle name is Daryl, my husband's name, and she has his eyes, not just the color. My daughter and my husband have the same color eyes, but her eyes are exactly my husband's. But the thing she gets me every time. My husband used to say, like, he'd see something and he'd smile and he'd go, "Wow," all the time. It was wow. My granddaughter does it all the time, and I just know that's I just feel like that
Yeah,
brings.
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I feel like, but I agree with you, Gerry. It's great. It's great advice that just marking those times and feeling it together, and just knowing that, as you said, Susan, we all grieve differently.
Yes,
but we all
and in the case of a divorcee, you're still not going to introduce your children until it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not replacing a father, but when you have adult children, it's a whole different picture, if you will.
Feeling sexy is supposed to be fun. Who doesn't dream of finding the perfect everyday bra? That's why Adore Me makes fun, flirty, and playful lingerie, bras, and more that's so assigned to order yourself a new bra or make.
We're bringing you this isn't just a together and also
what we're doing in this situation.
Listen to the middle with
Tom to get started.
Too long.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Go, Gerry.
Mentally managing their physical bodies. Okay, we have another one. What advice do you have for those entering their golden years that struggle with aging, whether it be mentally managing their physical bodies changing, etc.? What challenges do you think come with aging that you think people don't expect or talk about?
Oh my God, there's so many.
Go, Gerry, go.
There are a lot, aren't there, Gerry? I mean, I was shocked.
I think one of the things that strikes me is the challenge of getting good sleep. You get up and down to the bathroom 3 or 4 times a night, and that causes the next day to be just a touch more groggy than it should be. Mm-hmm. The aches and pains of staying physically fit. Okay, so you decide that you don't want to go to the gym or you don't want to go to pickleball, you waste away. But when you do those things, you have to accept the fact that you're going to hurt a lot of the time.
It hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Does not, Susan.
Kathy's like Atlas over there. She pumps iron. She does 100 push-ups. Nobody can compare to this one, but it does physically hurt.
She's the exception.
No, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Break things easier.
Wait, it's true. I've had my share. Let me just say, Gerry, I think that working out, everything you just said, sometimes things hurt. But you know what? If we're working out and you're after the age of 30, you start losing muscle mass, right? So if we're maintaining or just losing slightly, we're ahead of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
You are.
From another angle, a slightly different thing is training your mind to remain nimble.
Yes.
And this is a simple example, but I was gone to Mexico for 2 months. I came back, go to the Shady Nook next door to say hi to friends. And there's this momentary, what was his name again? Because I hadn't seen him for 2 months. And it's like the memory just is a little slower than it used to be. And I really hate that. I have good friends. I love my friends.
Lower mind's like a complete crawl. Okay.
Wait, go ahead, Gerry. You what? You went to friends what?
So you want to hold your friends tight. You want to honor them, and you want to make sure that you maintain those relationships, because I think that's important as you get older.
Yeah.
And yet you just now and then forget people's names.
But let me just say, I have 2 things to say. Number one, who are you talking to right now? It's a little mental challenge for you. Who are you talking to?
That one.
What was it again?
He's struggling here.
And then that other zip
and that other zip gal. I would say, Gerry, that one of the things that you haven't mentioned, but you're sort of mentioning it, is as we get older, some people fall into isolation, and that loneliness and the isolation. So it takes more work as we get older. We have to get out, make new friends, have activities, because if we don't, the slide down is a whole lot faster, I think.
I think you're 100% right.
Shared with the world. That was our message coming off of that show, the first ever show. What we felt was, it isn't over. Everybody, life is not over. Keep moving, get out. It's full of possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get the guy.
What guy? What guy? Oh, you mean the pink? Oh, you mean the guy that gave away gifts to everyone but me? Oh, that guy. Gerry, do you need my address to send me something? Because I'll send it to you.
Live.
Yeah.
We love you, Gerry. We really do.
We love you.
No, I'm so happy for you, though.
Yeah, we really are. We pull your chain. I pull your chain, but we are genuinely happy for you. Really.
Does she realize she has to meet us?
Oh yeah, that comes.
Have you told her yet?
I think it would be fun. Oh yeah, there's been.
I can't.
Wait a second, Gerry. You did, and I'm putting it out to Bachelor Nation, so you can't deny it. Susan, back me up on this. Gerry, did you or did you not say you were going to have a bunch of us out to go out on your boat?
Oh yes,
he did. Past tense.
100. No, that is an open invitation.
We need definites. We need
right now.
We need a date and a time, Gerry.
Yep. And everybody shows up and we party like crazy. That would be a very popular event here, man.
Yes, it would.
Totally renew the celebrity status. It'd amp up like you would not believe.
Listen, will you make me a drink? Because I made you vodka and cranberry on the show. Will you make me a drink?
I absolutely would.
Okay.
Of course you
absolutely would.
Okay.
And I'll cook.
Always.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Well, you can.
We got to make a plan. But Gerry, how grateful are you to this day of having this happen in your life, having that opportunity? I mean, did it not change so many things?
I have expressed that gratitude many times, many different ways to many people. Granted, the whole experience wasn't all 100% great, but my personal development, the things that I've been able to do, the fun I have, being around people. Oh God, it was amazing. And it still is amazing. I actually love going through Indianapolis Airport because it's still like everybody knows who I am and it's all fun. And yeah.
Did you learn anything that you didn't know about yourself?
Yes. And that question's been answered before, and it's an easy one. I didn't know I was so easy to cry about stuff.
I know.
Wait a minute. You didn't know. I'm being serious. You didn't know that you were a crier?
No. Kathy, it's like this.
Wow.
I think I got much more empathetic when my wife passed away. Okay?
I can't believe you just said that, Gerry.
Why?
Because I say that all the time. I've always cared about people. And even though I have this big personality, I don't like to hurt people's feelings. After my husband, Daryl, died, I am so even more empathetic. I've just never heard anyone express it, what I feel.
And it by a very clear watershed moment.
Yes.
Then with each passing month and year, I feel like it became more that way. I genuinely felt like I cared for people and their well-being much, much more. Yeah. And so then, the experience of sending women home after I tried so hard to form a bond with them on the show.
Yeah.
That's just one example. My wife and I used to watch Chicago Med and Chicago Fire, and there's always about relationships. Yeah. I sit down and watch that show now, and I have to turn away because it gets me.
Okay,
and of course,
Gerry.
I think about my wife, but
you have a heart. Is what it is.
Honestly, you got me on this one because I've been pulling your chain all day and having fun with you because I love you, but in the friendship way. But I honestly, those are the things I watch. I can't watch anything violent just because of my husband's death, but anything that I watch, I used to make fun, in good fun, of my husband who cried at everything. He would cry at sappy movies. And I used to say, what is wrong with you? It's Hollywood. It's not. We used to laugh about it. From the day he's died, I am a crier that I never used to be. And Susan will always say to me, did you cry? I just don't announce it, but I'm so much more of a crier now than I ever was.
You're in touch with your emotions now. I cry over Hallmark, the Clydesdale commercial.
Susan, you cry over changing the TV channel. Let's just be honest.
You guys, you both mentioned something that I heard. You have more empathy than you ever had. I, however, was cursed at birth. And I have so much empathy. I would love to give some away because I take it home with me. I could never be a nurse. You know what I mean? Like taking care of people. I'd bring that home. And I love that you both feel that. And all people in the world should recognize that quality that they do have within them. And it would be a better place.
Yeah, you're right.
One of the nice things I realized about this empathy is it's not just about sorrow or suffering, but Kathy,
Happy,
you can attest to this, Susan. I feel very empathetic when someone succeeds nicely.
Yes,
they overcome a challenge. It's like you want to celebrate for them and you feel so good for them.
Yes.
And that's the other side of that coin.
Yes.
You get the joy of that.
I think you just, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel emotions, as you just said. It's not just the sad ones, but the
good stuff.
Ebullient. When something good happens to people, I'm just like, oh, it's like I want to celebrate. Exactly what you just said, Gary. I want to celebrate with them.
Bachelor Nation fans like me because I did Teresa's hair. And when she asked me to curl it this way, I go, do you know how long I've been doing hair?
That's not celebrating, Susan. Let's
no,
be
it was
clear.
because I was
That's
excited
boss.
she had the date.
You're a boss.
I was happy for her. But that was the point.
Are you going to do my hair?
This went way too fast.
Will you do my hair if I get a date?
Don't I always?
Yes.
You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'll just sit over here in Indiana and wait.
No, Gary, we're coming.
We're coming, Gary. Listen, we need a date and a time. I actually need a date and a date, if you get it.
I do. I get it. And I can only help you out with half of that.
You know what? I'll put a want ad out.
He has the vote. I want that.
All right.
My God. All right.
This
Gerry,
has been great.
We love you. We're so happy for you. And we're calling your daughters as soon as we're done. And
no.
I got a month speed dial. All right, well, that's going to do it. It's going to do it for this episode of Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thanks, Gerry. We really did enjoy having you. You gave out some great advice. We knew you would. We are both so happy. I'm speaking for Susan as well.
Yes,
we're happy that you seemingly have found someone that at least right now is making you happy, and that makes us both really happy.
Thanks.
Definitely does. That's what
and I absolutely love talking to the two of you. Pleasure in this has been all mine.
At one time, I know we each chat separately, but when you get two on one, Gary, we're always laughing. We're always smiling.
That's right.
Isn't that like a golden Oreo sandwich?
That's right. Oh, I like that.
Am I the middle? Or is he the middle?
No, Gary's the middle, Susan. You are not always the centerpiece, Susan. Jeez Louise.
And Bachelor Nation and all our other fans, thanks so much for joining us today. And make sure to follow Bachelor Happy Hour as we have new shows coming out every week, and you don't want to miss them.
I mean, come on. If you enjoyed listening to Gerry today, as we did, and having this chat, we've got more coming. So make sure you submit your questions to us, your comments, your thoughts, your guesses on who Gary's dating. We want to hear it all. All you got to do is go to bachelornation.com/golden hour or DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour.
And when we find out, Cats, we're telling. Okay?
Oh, yeah, we're telling. Oh, yeah, Gerry, you're toast, buddy.
Make sure to listen to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to your podcast. Have a great week, everybody.